Hello, hello, and wow, that's like a record for how early I messed up, not counting like not having the mic on. You ever have one of those days? Um, you can, it's just good enough for me. Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm Nick, and welcome to DooM WAD Travelogue, and this is a show where we say just because it is not a great idea to be going out quite yet, doesn't mean we can't still explore new and interesting spaces. We're just going to do it in the form of community-made DooM WADs and level packs. Now, uh, today we're actually maybe under a technicality not falling under that uh, purview because today we are. Is it still a member of the community if we are talking about the original author? That's sort of the technicality question that we have to address because today we are going to check out One Humanity by John Romero, which came out, according to my watch, a week ago. And it was released sort of as charity. It's $5 on John Romero's website. I'm going to have a link. If you're watching the YouTube video, the link's going to be down below. I'm going to post it to Twitter when this episode ends. Um, but it's released. It's £5. It's like 571 American when I bought it. Uh, and basically all proceeds from the sale of this WAD. It's a single level, but it is still a WAD. All proceeds are going to go towards. Hang on, I had up the specific. Let's see here. 100% of the proceeds from this level will be donated to the Ukrainian Red Cross and the UN Central Emergency Response Fund to assist in their humanitarian efforts in supporting those displaced and those still in Ukraine. Which, in case you have been blissfully unaware, there's a war going on where Russia invaded Ukraine and have been committing war crimes by, like, shelling civilian uh, buildings and homes and kindergartens and garbage. And I'm pretty sure no matter what other argument you would try to, whatever propaganda you would try to spin, um, if you're shelling primary schools, you're done. You're the bad guy. It is very hard to come back from that. Um, so that being said, this is basically uh, a map made by John Romero. Uh, he said it's the first map he has made for Doom 2 since 1994, which feels a little bit like playing with numbers because not that long ago he released Sigil, which basically slots in as a sixth Doom episode. I believe it was called Sigil. Um, and also made uh, a revised Phobos anomaly level, uh, which both of those technically fall under Doom 1. So, yeah, technically, it's the first one he's made since 94 for Doom 2, but it's not like he's been completely out of the game. Um, but the point is, it's humanitarian effort. I think that's the real important part here. Um, I paid my $5. If you enjoy playing Doom, even if we get through this today and you decide you've seen all you need to see of it, and you're not interested in playing it, please consider still purchasing the level because it's a donation. It'll go towards um, an extremely good and immediate, currently ongoing cause. Um, and also, in case you need bigger, um, enthusiasm is not the right word. My producer isn't here to fix my words yet. If you feel like you need a bigger incentive, there's also the itch.io bundle for Ukraine up right now. I've heard thousands of games. They've already raised $2 million. It's an incredible project. So much support from the developer end, and clearly a lot of support from consumers, donors. I don't know how you want to frame that yet. But you can also consider that, and there's a bunch of great games in there. I'm planning on going to pick that up. All of the big games that they said are in there, I already have. It's not about that. It's about supporting a good cause and getting some bonus games on the side. You know, it's an incentive. It's not the purpose. You know. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put links below. Don't know if they'll be valid by the time you see this. If you're watching live, I'll tweet it on my accounts at the end of the show. You can find my accounts below the Twitch player in the About panels. Okay, there. Now, moving on, let's play the game. There have been, moments and sort of level design techniques, theories, philosophies, whatever you want to call them. A couple that I did pick up from Romero talking about working on DooM levels. But I'm really interested to, we haven't addressed regular DooM or Doom 2 on this stream yet. But I love that we're about to be able to take a look and say, like, okay, original authors making a new modern map, like, again, a week ago. I don't think we've played anything that new on this show. Or there was one thing that we played very soon after release, but I forget what that was, and I forget how close it was. So the idea to be able to come to the work of a known author, but we can approach it as something new, something we haven't had, 3 decades to ruminate over, and we can kind of just address it as anything else we've seen on this stream. I'm really excited for that. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm about halfway through this cup of coffee. It's my first for the day. Maybe I'll update you on how many I ultimately have by the end of the day. Also, last night was the first, really restful night of sleep I've had in the past, I don't know, a week and a half. So I'm in a space today, but I think it's good. All right, enough rambling from me. You don't need to know about my sleep, not really habits, but anyway, let's check out this level. Let's get into it. Ooh, that's loud in my ears. How's that? That sound good? That look good? That's a video game? That's a video game. For those of you out there for whom this is your first episode, this is a show about exploration and design analysis, not about challenge. So we always pick the easiest available difficulty, and if we still smash our heads against a challenge or something that feels broken or that we just can't figure out, we'll jump into God mode or no clip or whatever it's going to take to push through and see more of the levels. All right. Hello, kitty. Just walking around my feet. Okay, danger start. Whoa. Let's set that off. Okay, so I have the one right here. We have the danger start. I'm not really going to be able to deal with them. As soon as I take a shot, I got 1, 2, 3 imps, 4 imps, 1 chain gunner. 5 if you include the one who's already aggroed. Although I'm not going to count this one because clearly this is the one I'm going to set off. This is a door. I guess we're going to have to go immediately through the door because that's all... I mean, it's traversable down there. It's not dangerous. Ooh, lava fall. I like this. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. I was about to make a comment, but nope. Also, shotgun start. I do like to see a... Oh, whoa. Oh, that's not a real door. Huh. That opened, ow, on its own, didn't it? That's good. That's good. You see the door there. It looks normal, but it turns out it's actually broken. You can really tell it's broken the way it's warped. That's a good effect. All right, so we are just going to have to take a leap and figure it out. Okay, I see a rocket launcher. Oh, that already looks big. Why can I see that already? Wait, which way is that? That's looking off this way? No, this way. How am I seeing through that? Okay, cool. What feels like a safe way to jump down? We're going to have to jump down. I don't like jumping down this far because, I don't know, partially my real life fear of heights, and also because it is a severe one way. It just makes you feel like, no, this is a point of no turning back. Okay. Well, I know there was a dude here and I cleared him out. Okay, let's start here. How am I doing on shells? Better than I am on... Oh no, bullets are a little better, but not chain gun better. Get some stuff. Alright, so I'm starting to think that these teleporters are going to be the only way out from down here. What is the shape of this? Oh, there's like a door up there. Okay. I like these little cut-ins on the edges. It's like what is it like? It seems like very much a design thing. It gives a very sort of verticality to the appearance because, you know, it's this strong line that traces up and down, so it makes it it almost makes it feel taller, you know, when they talk about whether to wear horizontal stripes or vertical stripes. But also I like it because honestly there's something weird about that. It reminds me of like when you use neon lines to outline well, anything really, a jacket, a neon sign. That's always a style I like, the neon tracing, neon edge tracing. Okay, I've gone all around. I think this is the one we're going to take because that's the one that the rocket launcher was on. Let's, real quick, autosave. Not autosave, quick save. Romero. I could have done Where Art Thou? Right, I'm gonna... What do you mean I'm back up here? Hang on! Alright. Maybe this is the real one to go out because it's hidden and you can't see it from your initial stance. No, it's just back here. Okay, well, okay. Do I have to deal with this? No. Okay, is this what I think it is? Oh, hello. So, I want to say I recall that from one of his other more modern maps is using those eyes as a shoot target. So that is actually I've come to think of that as a Romero signature. Okay, now we end up over here, where we will need a red key and just simply do not have one. And did I just see a Kako over here? I get... Okay, so this is about to be a shoot switch relay, which also, by the way, remember when I said there was a place that looked a bit wrong up on the side? Oh, hello. Okay. Okay, super will be useful for, like, dealing with that knight over by where we started. Okay! What? What the? That sucked! Hey, that sucked! Can I just set it off but not go down? Get... Nice. Oh! Oh! Hello! That looks different. Hello! Okay. Well, we still have this toxin suit, so I feel very rushed to explore this toxin area. Hello. You're something. Okay, I don't know what that's actually going to be about. Hey, friend. Okay, now it's running out. Now it's running out. Okay, here. What is this? Okay. What is this? Okay, back down that side, I guess. Go here, that's gonna drop. Gonna go here, that's gonna drop. But then we would actually be able to... No, can't roll it back up. Okay. Guess I'm gonna try and take those stairs, because that is gonna bring us up to another balcony with another chute door on it. I'm gonna take that out just because it lets me take a shorter path. Okay. Something changed over there. I heard it. What's around this corner? Things I've already handled. Great. Oh, here we go. Like I said, chute door. Okay. Hear it, and it's raising over there. Okay. It's raising Arizona. Got it. Oh, what? Ow. Is there somebody in there getting me? I hate that. I'm not doing super great on the health front. This is on easy, right? Oh. Hello, friend. There's a thing over there. Take care of you. Okay, like a weird little control panel over here. I like what we're doing so far with, we're doing this, like, outer loop. We're raising bridges for each zone to get to the next, so everything is, like, is already kind of cordoned off into, like, complex wings. Ooh. I do like that is on these cracks to sort of say, like, hey, no, this is where a section of Demon World has landed, has been teleported into. Oh, there's a couple of you over there, huh? I do have a rocket launcher. I probably could be using that. What the hell? Oh, you teleported. Where did you just teleport to? Oh. Oh, we're... Okay, so we've looped all the way then? Because that's the door... That's the broken door from the beginning. Yeah, alright. The door correctly shifts out. Alright, cool. See, that's a little bit of, like, detail consistency that I care about. It's bulged on the front, so it's concave on the back. Alright, somebody teleported. We haven't been over there yet. Wait. That's a new one, right? Yes, that's a new one. Alright, now we just hang out here for a minute. I wonder if on a harder difficulty, it would spawn in a bunch of stuff that you have to deal with while you're waiting for that. I meant to use the little shotgun, but okay. I just knew for sure I didn't want to deal with him. Or, I didn't want to struggle with him. How about that? Something else opened. They were let out of their cage, is that opening noise, I assume. Okay, does that mean you're a secret? Yes. Yes, okay. Simple secret, I guess. I mean, good in that it's tucked. Like, the cage in the fence here implies, in traversable space, the imps say we don't drop power-ups, so you don't have to worry about getting here. Ooh, finally. We're over here. Wow, that's actually kind of fun that we have to roll past the start again to get even more access. We start across, then we go around. Okay. That'd be really interesting if, like, a map that, in keeping with the whole demon thing, the pathway you have to go in is a pentagram, and then when you finish traversing the whole path, and you have drawn the pentagram. Which, if you're defeating enemies the whole way, you are drawing a pentagram in blood. That's interesting. Then at the very end, that's when, like, maybe you get like a high point and you see what you have done, and you can then teleport a big boss into the middle of the pentagram, or a teleporter opens there and you use it as like a teleportation circle. Ooh, that's good. All right, is this ground gonna hurt? Because I do believe that's invulnerability. Which, if this ground hurts, that's going to... The invulnerability power-up is just an upgraded toxin suit, isn't it? Because the toxin suit protects you from environmental hazards. The invulnerability protects you from all damage. They're both time limited. They both prevent you from some set or subset of damage. Huh. I never really made that connection before, just because their visual is so different that they're not, like, visually coded the same. One is like a real life, you know, hazmat suit, something we can consider, which also, again, protects you from environmental damage. That's very, if you get the concept of a hazmat suit, a clean room, whatever, you understand what it's going to do just from the visual, from your knowledge of what the item is. You understand what its function is going to be from something outside the game. Whereas this is some sort of magic orb. And magic orbs, you either don't know what they're going to do, or, you know, it just says they're going to have a function that is magic orby. Like that French dude, he had magic orbies that destroyed his plumbing. Anyway. Hurt? No. Okay, cool. I do appreciate the sort of style consistency of, like, anything demon based, anything that seems out of place is sort of jagged coated. So even though this is still like the human metal around it, it's been warped out of the straight lines. There is the element. This is absolutely a very gameplay first level. Oh, you use that texture on the stairs. Okay, interesting. Because, like, if you ask me what is this area, I don't know. We don't have any sort of decorative doors to imply more space. This is technically a decorative door, but it's also a gag, and it's also playing with the visual language to subvert. And it is also does have a measure of foreshadowing, because so that is a very small eye line, but that is an eye line that sort of tells us, hey, here's what we're looking for to here we have an idea of what's on the other side. These glowing cracks, the busted door, and originally there was a knight there, but so he wandered off and approached us. Approaching us? How else is it going to kick our ass? So like this is kind of decorative, but it is also giving you some foreshadowing, giving you a further thought to look at. But like this room, even if it is demon encrusted, demon warp perhaps, like, okay, this is from decorations, this is some sort of like control panel center, which is in a oh, I love this. I kind of noticed this before, but I didn't put it together, but I do love that this is a this is that same texture that was just on the stairs, but it has been in this case used to make these little light beacons on top, and I love the way that looks. Although, okay, jump is disabled. I don't think it's the same yellow on the top, which is probably why the top of it is about at eye height, so that way you don't notice. But yeah, this is just like, all right, this is just sort of a zone, and like it's smart the way that there are interesting shapes in this level, like just this 90-degree stairway with the low wall, with this little hallway tucked in the side. Oh, and that goes under, and that's why it's under there too. Cool. Oh, and that's the lava fall on the outside, isn't it? It totally is. Okay. So like there are like, we have those interesting visuals. The maybe not set pieces, see them from everywhere, maybe not necessarily landmark set pieces, or a bit more subtly. Like I have to actually sit here and look and realize the way that these are all connected. But they're not necessarily narratively functional, because it's just like, oh, okay, this is kind of a set piece. This is that weird lava T that we have to skip across. This is, where the command center is. Okay, I know this room. Why is the command center here? Normally you have a command center and it's someplace where you can get like good visuals over something, or it's in part of a greater command bridge or whatever. Usually there's some sort of observation window or eye line that you would get. Here are the controls. What are you looking at to control? Unless you're on a submarine or something like that. But even then, you have a greater bridge, sort of zones defined by function. And these are all they're all just hallways. This is, oh, this water is safe? Are you kidding me? So that means the only thing I really needed the suit for was wherever that little bit of toxins was. I don't even remember now. But yeah, like none of this makes sense as a space you would build. And you would expect some level of that, considering we have this very clear visual language for here's what's out of place, here's what's sort of demon built and not man-made built. Yeah, like you can even see that the way that the wall gets warped just around it. Over here, it is still pretty flat. It like almost has like a rippling effect. The farther you get from it, the more towards straight lines you get back to. I'm not saying it necessarily needs it, but I feel like that is definitely a okay. So personally for me, thinking of the spaces in terms of their narrative functionality, what is punctunimity? No, none of these are words. Thinking it of terms in like its narrative use. What would this be if it were in the real world? That helps me come up with the rest of it and maybe think of the overall shape and some of the interesting sort of pieces that you would see. Like DooM is, when you're building a DooM map, it is a little weird because you do have this element of blank canvas paralysis. Any artists out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. Where you need like a seed of something to build everything, and you sort of have no constraints, because when you have constraints, at least you can think about like, okay, how do I build around this constraint? The constraint is the seed, you know. Um, but you compare that to something like, I'm gonna say Minecraft, but only because it is more directly comparable than if I just said the real world, right? Because the thing about in Minecraft and the real world, and I learned this thinking about watching some of the like most expensively designed homes in the world, like watching one of those shows. A lot of time, like when you are designing architecture, you also aren't starting with a blank palette. I mean, some people are, but even if like your design starts with a blank palette, you're going, and when you go to build it, you're building it somewhere in the real world. And the thing about the real world is the real world already exists and is already full of things, whether that's, you know, mountains or trees or swamps or you know, whatever. Trees, forests, both. It depends on which one you can see. And so you sort of have this, that you are sort of preloaded with this seed of, oh, you know, here's this nice mountain, the sun rises in that direction, so we're going to want to build something on this side of the mountain. Maybe, you know, what is the minimal amount of land shaping that we need to do to build on top of it? Do we want to have it stick out? Do we want to have it built in? There are already pieces for you to begin playing with when you're designing that space. And you sort of design it around what's already there or what have you. So really, there's these like two different pieces that you might get in the real world, which are like, what is the pre-existing landscape? How is that going to, how do we work within that because it's already there? And also this functional, like, what, like, real world people are going to use this, so what is the purpose of these spaces? How are they going to be shaped? All of that. And then when you're doing level design, you're working with this third piece, which is, and then how do we make like a fun level out of that, you know? You know, how do we have navigational pathways that the player is going to go through? How are we going to, even if we're making it like this big open area, what are the steps the player has to go through? Whether it's a single pathway, whether you have branching points that you can do in multiple orders. Sorry, I got ideas in the middle of a sentence. There's like these three things that you need to play with. But when you start with the blank canvas, part of the reason why you get that paralysis is because you have nothing. These two sort of seeds that you can start with of, you know, what is already there and what is going to be the purpose when it's done. Those are just out. So very much like you have to, I always feel like you have to come up with those first before going into, in order to have something to build off of. Like that is the seed of your idea, for me at least. One thing about Romero, which I notice in the new maps he's made, and also in, you know, a lot of the original Doom maps, is they all start gameplay first and never really only consider. I don't know if the what do you call it, the function is ever considered. Instead, it just goes to like, it keeps the idea of like what is like a unique set piece to make the different parts of the different levels feel unique and memorable. It's like, okay, this is going to be like, we're gonna have a balcony here because it's the only balcony in the level. We're gonna have these different shapes of room. We're gonna have this, you know, this like bridge control panel section in this room, and like you get a lot of that, but it feels kind of like a dream in that it's like, okay, each piece sort of like is recognizable, but the way they go together don't make a coherent picture in the end, you know? These are all kind of like dreamscapes. They have the good gameplay. They do have the interesting, you know, individual pieces, but the idea of like what do those pieces build up to? I never really see it beyond a level with good gameplay and memorable parts, you know? I don't necessarily find that... I don't necessarily mean that as a complaint. Like, on some level, it might be a complaint because I find that when you have these, like, very compartmentalized places, you end up with... That's... When you have these very compartmentalized sections, zones, whatever you want to call them, you go one of two ways. You either make them very open and have good sight lines to each other, so that way you can connect these separate zones to each other to create a good mental map, or they are very separated, they have very, cut off sight lines, and it's easier to get lost because this idea of like, okay, well, I'm here in this room. I know this room, I'm familiar with this room, but I have no idea where this is in comparison to everything else. And if you want a confusing landscape, not chiropractic, claustrophobic sort of experience, cool. If it's intentional, great. But it is one of those things you have to keep in mind, because if you do that without meaning to, maybe that's a goof up. Okay, I think I need to grab this. Yeah. Wait. I'm invulnerable and I have a Berserker pack. Are these Barons? They're taking a lot of hits. Oh. Okay, now there's an interesting thought. What if you... Really? That was it? Quick load. Can I set that off without grabbing that? Yes. Ah, dang it. Because to be honest, I wasn't done exploring. But, so the invulnerability, it does this blown out grayscale effect to the whole game. I'm really curious about how could you make that, because you feel like, you know, the only reason you wouldn't want to grab it is if you want to save it for later. You know, like in a slaughter map where there's a bunch of them around and it's like, okay, you're going to need these mid-fight. Don't grab them all before starting to fight. But using it as a detriment because of what it does to your sight line. So, like, do it and then drop you into a maze where you cannot see the walls. Grab it and then it reveals keys, only one of which you need. And if you can't tell the keys apart, then you're kind of just blind guessing, and maybe you get, you know, punished for grabbing the wrong key. Ooh, that is an effect to place upon the player that maybe you could play with. Okay, so we're here. Then we go in here. And, I mean, this looks like an amazing transition into another level. But are we really going to say that that's it? Okay, so we see all these blue lines around the external. Okay, so we got the narrow lines that allow sound transmission that are going to wake those enemies up. Then the blue line that lets them teleport into whatever the combat zone is going to be. Okay. That's not bad. I mean, it's short. Does it feel like it has a gimmick? Or like an overall theme of something it's playing with. It has a switch rally at the beginning. It has these different zones that do each feel pretty unique to each other. So we have the... Wait, I can look this way. We have like the middle hub zone where we're doing the switch rally. We have the cargo zone, We have the control panel zone. We have this is sort of like a balcony corridor plus this balcony over here, which is something we could see from the beginning. So it's sort of our what do you call it? That is our foreshadowing. It's just like, especially because it has the lights on it that really make it stand out compared to the other ones. You go like, oh, this one is lit up. This one is interesting. This one has a bunch of dudes who are dangerous to us from the start. To like, it really goes out of its way to draw our attention, which is smart because that is sort of going to be our end state of the things we can see in this middle zone. And then this twisted boss room over here. So it is pretty good in design in how it is laid out, how you go around it, how it has the zones feel unique. But it's also kind of straightforward. Like, yeah, it doesn't really have maybe it's because I'm playing on easy, but none of these zones feel like they have much beyond that bit of decoration. Like if this were a sort of I feel like this is the second step of some sort of exquisite corpse of map making, right? Because we have this first general layout and this idea of what the zones are. Or even this first step is the general layout and sort of this big spiral path that we take around it. Oh yeah, because we start over there, and step 1 is the start up here, and then we go straight across, and step 2 is this piece adjacent. So we do get the full spiral of the map. But yeah, step 1 is the general layout and this like overall path thing. Step 2 is the decoration, which we do have a lot of decoration, making the zones feel unique. And step 3 ends up being like enemy placement, I guess. Or if you were going to add gimmicks, you're going to add like, oh, this is the part where we're going to have the big, I mean, yeah, like the only gimmick is we have the switch rally at the start, or not even at the start, just the switch rally that we keep coming back to because that is how we are opening up the new levels or new zones. The broken door at the beginning, and it's kind of it. It's fine. It's solid. It's baseline. We've seen way more expansive maps. We've seen way more gimmicky maps. Like that's the thing. This is solid. This is well designed. This is an excellent map. Like, this is like an excellent mid-game map, you know? You don't necessarily need a gimmick. I don't want to say it's filler because I feel like that's putting it down, but it is, you know, it's the, you know, when they say like, oh, the worst sin is being forgettable. And yeah, that is kind of the thing about it. Like nothing really. Well, this button. Before we step out and end, just to juice a little more out of this, let's just look around in a cheating sort of way. Yeah, so these are all hotels for warping and demons. Oh. Okay, that's a secret door to get you in here. Which, wait. Oh, and then this whole back door is, I don't know how you would open that up, but okay, there's more secret in here. More hotels. Here we go. Yes, this very, very thin, yeah, you can see how it connects to each one of these little cubicles to wake all of those enemies up. Okay. Ooh, that's me. Yeah, a lot of these little teleported cubicles. Ooh. That's an interesting one. Okay. We got this around here. We got this around here. Oh, yeah, and then still this guy down here. Are you supposed to... Okay, so you're saying it's up the... Yeah, I know. Hang on. Thank you. So you come in over here? Oh! Yeah, that is a texture change. Okay. And, ooh, what is... Oh no, we were in there earlier, right? Wasn't this... Yeah, because this is this drop down. Alright, so I have to guess this drops that. Yeah, it drops that back. Ooh, right, and then there's this... Oh, that's what that's looking at! Yes, because I remember dropping down and there was a chain gunner in here. And then he walked up... No, he walked somewhere to find us. Maybe over here? And then this drops down to here over here, which, like... Okay, this one... I like how these are all... I wonder if using different textures for these is like a reminder of, like, these are the ones for this area. It's like a visual reminder. I wonder. Yeah, and then this one over here. Wow! This one little one over here. That would have put... I'm guessing then this drops. Okay. Oh, I can't pick it up because I'm in no clip. Right. If I die while in no clip, that would be funny as heck. Okay. Yeah, and then here's our boss zone over here. That's the exit we're going to touch, and now we're back over here. I still don't know what opens this, though. It's not just this. It's not that. Okay, that one stays open. If we are standing out over here, is there anything to shoot? We're out standing in our field, is there something to shoot? Did another one open that I didn't notice because it seemed like we were done with the Switch rally? Where was the weird... Over here? No, you're there, and you're just a light, I think. That's the teleporter down there. Yeah, I have no idea how I would get into that one. I do remember seeing when we were over here, and I saw this side. Wait, what did that open? Because maybe the intended way is when you get to the end, you come in here and you hit this. But I hit it early. What did that open? I don't remember what that opened. That didn't open this, did it? That'd be weird if it opened this, because then you need to find it to get into the boss room where you'd be able to get to it. That doesn't feel right. And besides, from this... No, there's not a different one to hit. Okay. Why are these blinky? No, they already got bullet holes on them, so they've been hit. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Bop. Okay. Alright, that's... Okay, so good secrets hidden in here, too. I'm not gonna say that counts as... gimmicks, but it is not... And they're pretty evenly spaced across... Yeah, there's kind of one in each zone, isn't there? Huh. That's cool. That's smartly done. Alright. But again, this is what I was saying. It's got a little bit of everything, but nothing that particularly stands out. Which, you know... I don't want to talk down on something that has done nothing wrong. That's really how I'm feeling about this. But I think in a way, this is definitely saying, hey, the the major appeal of this map is that it is a John Romero authored map for charity, which got me to buy it and check it out. I mean, yes, okay. The gimmick of this map is a meta one, which even if you discount it being John Romero, because I'm not. They say never meet your heroes, never meet your role models, which is easy for me because I don't have role models, because I don't really look up to anybody, because I sort of fundamentally understand that everybody is human and flawed on some level. We can talk about that later. But yeah, just the gimmick of this map is this is a map created for charity. Donate to charity to get this map. And underneath that, there is a very solid map. It might be brief, but it's solid. It's fun enough. The funny thing is, it's short enough. This might be a map where I go back and I play it on like increasingly harder difficulties to juice more out of it. Because it is solid, and it's just like, oh, it's solid enough that, I couldn't, going back and adding the challenge, it would, add more to it. Yeah. And I feel like I'm struggling for something to say, because it was so short on its own, and, I kind of don't want to short shrift everybody on the stream. But also because, like, it is Romero, and if I don't give something made by Romero anything but the highest praise, then I feel like I'm going to get Romero fanboys attacking me. Hey, you know what? If I get attacked over not saying anything bad, but also not having enough good things to say, that's a misdeed on their part, not necessarily on my part. I'm being honest. I think it's good. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's just the most sort of memorable thing about it is who made it and why they made it. But it's good. Doing anything to drive, like, if the one of the biggest selling points is the name on it, then that person going out of the way to put their name on something for charity, that's nothing but props. Not props as in set dressing, but props as in respect. Good credit to their name. All right, let's touch that door again and call it a day, because I could use another cup of coffee. This one's just about gone dry. Weighs you down, don't I know it? Okay, so yeah, you don't even get to touch the door, you just walk into it. Yeah, these don't count. All right, I'm gonna say, let's go back to this one. Yeah, short map, but really, again, I wasn't playing this map necessarily to be, a great stream. I'm just here to be like, to draw light on it, because it is for charity, and he put his name on it to spread awareness. I'm showing it off to spread awareness, because people are out there suffering right now. People are dying. Even the survivors' lives are being shattered and upheaved and knocked off of whatever, knocked down from whatever level of living they were at. And it's a tragedy. It's a humanitarian crisis. It is. A lot of people are saying World War III. I feel like not enough countries have entered into the fray. There is a lot of, who is supporting which side on the back, but in terms of like where the front lines are and the active combatants in it, it's still, I feel like, two sides, and there's clearly an aggressor and a defender. And hey, if you're the aggressor in the situation, you're probably the jackass. There are extenuating circumstances to that, but let's say 95% of the time, And considering this is so large scale, it can't help but be public. Yeah, we know who the jackasses are. A jackass, you know. Um, I had somebody come into the chat last week, and say, "Hey, I'm Russian. Is that okay?" And it's like, yeah, no, it's not about being Russian. It's about supporting the war. It's about supporting or protesting the aggression. Um, and yeah, like if you would not have it, but it is beyond your control to affect, like, yeah, that doesn't make it your fault. But if you are in a position to support those being, attacked, oppressed, ruined, crushed, like, if you are in a position to support, it's sort of all of our moral duty to support. And that is why I wanted to show this off today. And like I said, uh, if you want to give about $5 to Romero, that's great. If you want something a bit more substantive, sure, of a incentive, uh, go to Itch, get the Ukraine support bundle there. That seems incredible. They've already raised 2 million. They just set a new target for 4 million. That's great. I hope it gets. Honestly, the fact that they already hit 2 million is amazing. I don't know what a sort of like, I don't know what an amount of money that would make a difference looks like, but 2 million's a lot. To my life experience, 2 million's a lot. But okay, I'm gonna stop yapping and trying to justify a short stream. Go, even if you've seen it now, even if you're not interested in the map, find some way, if you are able, to go support. Um, I'm doing my part. Here's the cool part about humanity: no one person is particularly strong or able to affect things, but everyone doing a little bit, there's enough of us that if everyone does a little bit, big things happen. That's the amazing part. Um, ooh, that smells good.
Yeah, your mom makes scones.
It's scones. All right, I'm gonna go get a scone. Um, like I said, if you're watching the archive, check out the links in the description to support. If you're watching live, check in my about section for Twitter, where I'm about to go post those links as well. And until next time, uh, get vaccinated, get boosted. That's the best way to protect yourself and everybody. Second best way, if you can't get vaccinated yet for whatever reason, stay home as much as you can. Self isolation is second best way to protect yourself and others. Wear your mask if you do have to go out, if you have no choice. Your mask protects others, their masks protect you. Um, Wash your hands. It's just good hygiene anyway. Raise the voices of the oppressed. Recognize who is being oppressed and who is only claiming to be oppressed. Because if you're oppressed, there are certain actions you would not be able to take. Remember that neutrality doesn't exist if you try to be neutral. You are supporting the oppressors. And the rule that underlines the rest of these rules: take care of one another. I'll see you next week.